So, sumpay gyapon ni. Now, lesson 1. Learning objectives. Identify the spiritual and intellectual components of TCMP. Define spirituality. Number 3. Identify the therapeutic community philosophy. 4. Enumerate some of the related philosophy and therapeutic community. Number 5. Explain the objectives of the intellectual component in the TCM program. Spiritual and intellectual components of TCMP. As the BGMP aims to institutionalize therapeutic community modality program in all jails nationwide, the intellectual and spiritual component hopes to enhance the spiritual and intellectual dimension of the residents by providing opportunities for them to develop self-worth and productivity. Spirituality. Spirituality is any action or activity that reflects or brings out the goodness in a man. It is the broad concept of a belief in something beyond the self. It may involve religious traditions centering on the belief in a higher power. It can also involve a holistic belief in an individual connection to others and to the world as a whole. Scott. It summarizes a man's relationship with himself, others, and the Supreme Being. Spirituality in the CMP is designed to respond to all inner longing of residents to find greater faith where they can anchor themselves within their struggle or find meaningful to their existence. The spiritual component provides the residents with an activity that would help them explore the meaning and purpose of their existence and their particular place in the world. The objectives of spirituality within the TCM are follows: to enhance personal and spiritual well-being of residents, to appreciate the value of the Word of God in relation to their life and as nourishment to the soul, to give opportunity to the resident to express special encounter and healing from God, to remind the residents for the need for constant connection with God in their lives. Therapeutic community philosophy. Therapeutic community philosophy embodies all the challenges and aspirations of the most residents who feel alienated and the desire to overcome the imprisoned limitations on their freedom and find their own place where they could feel safe and welcome. It acknowledges the importance of fellowship in shaping one's behavior and motivating one's fortitude of helping themselves and others. It likewise serves as his anchor in times of emotional turmoil, which he can always go back to and reflect. It forms emotional binding among the participants, knowing that they are grounded in the same philosophy. Therapeutic community philosophy are follows: surrender. I am here because there is no refuge finally from myself. I am here where I am right now because I admit that something went wrong with my life that I have no control over. I admit that I need the help of a higher power and of others to bring positive change in my life. Self-disclosure. Until I confront myself in the eyes and hearts of others, I am running until I suffer them to share my secrets. I have no safety from them, afraid to be known. I can neither know myself or any other. I will be alone. I know that unless I come out in the open and admit my mistakes, I will forever be running from them. I need to disclose my deepest secrets to my peers so that I can find the right ways of dealing with them. By opening myself up for others to see through me, I will be free from my own demons and let others guide and help me through my ordeals. Nobody can help me unless I let them know my woes and let them understand like them. I also need help. Reflection. Where else but in our common grounds can I find such a mirror? There is no better place to disclose any feelings than in a place full of people with similar experience, where I feel safe and safe from prejudices. People are here for different reasons, but with common problem it's easy to identify with somebody who is going through the same experience as me. Self-realization. Here, together, I can appear clearly to myself, not as a giant of my dreams nor as a dwarf of my fears, but as a person, part of the whole with my share in its purpose. When I started to understand myself better, I began to realize how all my negative behaviors came to be. It is easier to deal with something when we understand its roots. I will learn not to look at myself as too big or too small to handle all my worries. I will learn that I will deal with them as a person among others who are united together to help each other by our similar attitudes. Growth. In this ground, I can take root and grow. I realize that this environment can help me overcome my mistakes and start a new life. I can anchor myself in this community to foster permanent change. Self-worth. Not alone anymore as in death, but alive to myself and to others. I begin to believe in my ability to overcome all my challenges and give out all my best for myself and others. I believe in my ability to be of help to others who are in similar situations. Unwritten philosophy and therapeutic community. The unwritten philosophy of TC consists of slogan or aphorism that are verbally given to the resident. Number one. Number one, honesty. A lot of residents continue to live in a lie without the fear of its consequences. The virtue points out the importance of truth and its relevance to recovery. Responsible love and concern. The residents will learn how to give and accept criticism without resentment. Bonded by trust and confidence, the residents know that mistakes need to be corrected if the aim is to bring the other towards behavioral change. To be aware is to be alive. Residents learn to be conscious of what is going on in the environment in TC. Minor attitudes are in rows to prevent major attitudinal problems to arise. Trust in your environment. There will be no change if there is no honesty and disclosure. Before doing so, trust must be established. One should believe that the program can help him. In doing so, he will learn to accept the program and use its tool to evoke changes in himself. Be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. Man by nature is ambitious. We never get content with what we have. We want more, even if you would lead us to commit mistakes. We should learn to appreciate what we have and use it to better ourselves. Number 6. No free lunch. In reality, nothing really comes easy. If we aim for something, we must work for it. There is no pride in getting something the easy way. It is hard to let go of something that we labored for. Change will not come if we will just wait for it to happen. We must make it happen. 7. You can keep it unless you give it away. 7. Knowledge or learning is better appreciated if shared with others. Something becomes valuable if used to help others make positive changes in their lives. Helping others help us in the process as we start to feel good about ourselves. What does around comes around. Whatever you do unto others will be done unto you. Any good deed will be rewarded, while evil deeds will be punished in the end. We should always be mindful of our actions as they are the parameters of how we will judge in the end. As if learning and accepting the TC program is not easy, most residents feel resistant towards it. This philosophy teaches the resident to go with the flow as the way of compliance. In the process, they will learn to embrace it, and the behavior will soon become natural. Number 10, understand rather than be understood. It's sometimes common for us to be selfish. We find it hard to admit ourselves. We expect everyone around us to understand our mistake, hence we tend to blame everybody but others. But understanding others is a virtue because it speaks of wrongdoings, but we seldom try to understand humility and patience. If we take the first step to know where others are coming from, there would be fewer conflicts in relationship. 11. Personal growth before vested status. Sometimes we become so wrapped up in our own status or position in life that we tend to forget to develop relationships with the people around us. We should cultivate our personal abilities before we scale the ladder to success. Comprehension. Comprehension is valid. A reward for working hard is well deserved. We get what we put into it. Forgiveness. To accept what has been done. Move on and get over the hurt and anger. Give us a feeling of inner peace and happiness. Failure to get over the pains will pin us down and us stunt our progress. 14. Humility. To humble oneself before others is laudable virtue. We are often enveloped by pride that is difficult for us to lower ourselves and admit our inadequacies and limitations. By doing so, we develop a fair insight about ourselves, thus giving us the challenge to improve ourselves. You alone can do it. 15. You alone can do it, but you can't do it alone. Oftentimes, we feel invincible and indispensable, knowing that certain tasks can only be accomplished by us. We don't realize that we have certain limitations, that without the help of others, the burden will be too great for us. We should learn to reach out for help, admit our weaknesses,